Diane.
You?
How are you?
Great.
Good.
I feel incredible.
Yeah, you look unbelievable, like above and beyond what I had ever expected. Like you really pushed the envelope on even your own expectations, I think.
Did.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So let's rewind. So we have a long history. We knew each other in college and university.
That's right.
You were always this gorgeous girl, but you were always full. You always had amazing curves. I always knew you to be that way. And so we went to college, went to university, did accounting. I did not want to do accounting, but I did because my friends were. So it's like, you're inspired. It's like, yeah, my friends are doing accounting. Like, why don't I do accounting? So thank you for getting me through university. I appreciate it. Thank you 20 years later.
You're paying back.
Well, I mean, see how the universe brings you back together? Now I'm helping you, right?
Okay.
So fast forward, you've always been a great supporter. One day you were like, let's just call it.
I think what it was kind of mid-COVID.
Yeah.
Where I was drinking and I was eating really poorly. And I decided, okay, I'm coming up to my 40th birthday.
Yeah.
And this is kind of the impetus of the time when I need to really take care of myself.
Absolutely.
And I think I reached out and I'm like, oh, Christmas and
Yes.
all this. But I finally, took the plunge and it started in April. And
Good.
the goal was to be in the best shape of my life for my 40th birthday.
Yeah. Which just happened.
It was last week.
Yeah. Anything you attempted. I mean, I remember you from college and university, like everything was always, you had really high expectations of yourself.
Yes.
This was no different. But in the beginning, how did you feel when everything was thrown at you?
I was completely overwhelmed.
Yeah.
All of the new foods, all of the new process, and just changing the habits was something that was difficult, but I knew that was going to be the key to success.
That was necessary.
So I kept it really simple.
Good.
And I just took out all of the noise of, well, what's that girl doing? What's that girl doing?
Good for you.
And
How did you do that?
I just really stopped listening. I just looked at the program and said, put it in a box, and then just stay within that box and just follow that as much as I can.
So you kept it simple. And that is great advice for anybody going into the program is just keep it simple. Don't overthink it. Don't try and do what the next girl who's been there for 12 weeks. Don't look at what she's doing.
It did help.
Yeah.
After a couple of weeks, you get into the process of, okay, meal prep.
Yes.
You get into the process of, okay, this is when I'm going to do my workouts.
Good.
This is when I'm going to do my steps. And as long as you stick to that, those key things, it really helps like relax you and it starts to become a lot easier and it becomes kind of second nature. And then now that's life.
Yeah, good for you.
I know.
How did you manage like social life and going out and like your single girl?
Well, funny enough, I play a lot of sports.
Yeah.
I play on a sports team that is sponsored by a bar. So
what is it? Baseball?
Like
softball? It's softball.
Yeah,
of course it's sponsored by a bar.
For a bar in Toronto. And that was a challenge, because everybody would go to the bar after and have drinks and all of that. And I would have water.
Yeah.
And I would,
order a salad.
Or a salad.
Yeah.
And, and it was fine. I didn't care.
Good.
What I noticed was everybody else around me cared.
Yeah.
And it just drove me nuts how everybody around me was like, why aren't you drinking?
Yeah.
Like, you're a drinker. Why aren't you drinking?
Yeah.
And like, why aren't you? You're eating a salad? Like, yes.
When people see people doing something different, they're curious. But if you're stuffing your face with a burger and fries, nobody questions you, do they?
No.
And a beer?
No. And now people lie to me about how much they drink.
Yeah.
What they're
I know, because you're like, I'm not judging you, man.
I
Be
don't
yourself.
care.
I don't care.
Do your
It's all
thing.
good.
I was there once.
Exactly.
I know how
and
it
you
feels.
know that for anyone, man or woman, they have to come into the journey on their own.
Yes.
They can't be coerced into it. And it's like, and that's why it's the type of thing where we don't really go after people. We let them come to us because you can't be forced into it and you can't be convinced. And it's like, you don't come in just because your friend Diane lost all this weight and she did it. You have to come in on your own terms and for your own reasons.
Totally.
And everybody's, it's just like how you wanted to come in December, but it didn't happen till April.
I wasn't ready.
Exactly. And we're not going to convince you.
Yeah.
You have to be ready for it. Yeah, you have to convince yourself. I remember even in college, you were doing Muay Thai. In university, you started. You were always athletic.
Yeah.
But you could just never shake off the weight.
I don't ever remember being as fit as I am today.
Yeah.
And I used to do Muay Thai like 5-6 days a week.
And you were in your 20s.
And I was in my 20s. My fighting weight was 10 pounds, actually 12 pounds heavier than I am today.
Yeah.
And I was running. I was doing 5 and 10Ks.
No doubt you were healthy and you were strong.
I know now.
Yes.
It's because of the food that I was putting in my body.
Yeah.
It was a huge, huge
light bulb.
Yeah. I now have a template that I can take with me anywhere.
Anywhere.
Of what I need to do in order to stay healthy, feel amazing.
Yeah.
And I'm even more confident with the way I look on the outside.
Yeah. Because you always knew you had it in here and you always had a big heart.
Yes.
And now you're like,
now I can show it on the outside as well. I always had the fat girl mentality. I knew that I couldn't wear certain things.
Yes.
I always covered up the pouch and stomach. I didn't want to show my arms because they were flabby. Anytime I saw people on the beach, I knew that I was never going to be that girl. And
at least you thought.
At least I thought.
Yeah.
And after doing this, I have a whole new confident self of just the way that I feel on the outside as well as on the inside.
Yeah. So what, you're moving to a new country, you're moving to the UK.
Well, I have always dreamed of working
abroad. Yeah.
And this is kind of a dream job, but being on this program made that choice
so easy, right?
So easy.
Yeah. Like, seamless.
Yeah.
Of course I can handle it.
Of course. And now with my new...
Gave you that inner strength.
Yeah.
That to believe, of course I can achieve this, I can accomplish this, I can do anything. And that's the confidence that I wish for anybody to do when they complete the program. Is like, you have just this newfound love and a vision for yourself.
And that's exactly how I feel. I look forward to the future for the first time.
Yeah.
I cannot wait.
Good for you.
And not only that, I'm setting my new goals, my new fitness goals.
Yeah.
My new health goals.
Yeah. And I told you should do a show.
Do they do that for over 40?
Are you kidding? Of course.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, who knows?
It's called the Masters category.
Oh.
I won it.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Masters. That's what, for me, gave me the most education. Yeah. So you know how to get yourself to that level, you can do any level of fitness.
Yeah. And even further to that, I just have to say that there's been a real understanding of the relationship with food.
Yes.
That I think was huge for me.
You knew what to make, but it was the relationship.
Yes.
Right?
And not knowing the mental and emotional connection.
Yes.
To food.
That was probably a pivotal,
huge,
right? For you, that was like your turning point of shit, like now I get it. I get why I need to eat this way. And once it makes sense, don't you find that it's easier to adhere to what you need to do, right?
Totally.
Yeah.
Now I know that if I have sugar, I'm gonna want more sugar.
I'm going down.
I'm going downhill.
Yeah, I'm gonna want it.
It's a slippery
I'm gonna be mad. I'm gonna get upset.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna want to fall asleep or eat more sugar.
Exactly.
And once, you understand that, it's like, okay, forget it.
Yes.
You can easily talk yourself out of it. So what would you say to a woman at home that's saying to herself, oh no, not another program. Another program, I'm not gonna do it, I'm just gonna fail.
You really need to look at yourself and understand why you're in the position that you are and realize that that's not okay. That for me was a barrier to where I needed to be. Because even though I was confident, I was still in the back of my mind, I was still not.
You were still like, but I still don't wanna be this way. Even though I'm confident and I know I can rock a dress, something about it just doesn't feel
right. I wasn't 100% confident. With the outside. So, really look at the relationship that you have with food. And understand
that's
the triggers.
What you need to solve about fixing that relationship with food. And it's only going to happen when you educate yourself further and understand what it is that's triggering you to want those foods. And there's so many layers, right? Emotional eating, and as women and as we're aging, and it's like, and if we don't have our finger on it constantly, it will take over us. So it's good that you gain control of this. You're going into a new phase and you're excited about life again. I'm so happy for you. So congratulations.
Thank you, Sue.
You're welcome.
Honestly, I couldn't have done it without you.
Hey, I graduated university, so super grateful for you.